Shalmaneser IV is the king who, by, I think, best measures, was the king who heard Jonah preach. He rules from 782 to 773. He has just inherited an empire which is strong and getting stronger, which is continuing to use increasingly violent means to extort from all of their neighbors the revenue that is making Assyria very, very wealthy at the expense of all of those that are under their dominion. So that's what's going on. That's what this guy inherits. And one would expect that that would be the ongoing kind of momentum of the Assyrians. And so it's very interesting. He comes to the throne. He's the son of his predecessor, that he is remembered later as weak and inept. Now, let me just say something here. He leaves us no records. All of these guys were just filling their annals with all of the boasts of their powerful, glorious conquests. Everyone was outdoing the last one. Everyone was selling himself as the next greatest king yet. And then all of a sudden comes this guy. You would think he'd be riding this wave, and he goes dark. We don't hear anything from him. What we do hear are later Assyrian comments about him. People who actually were even more violent, more warlike, reflecting back on their predecessors and say, this guy was a loser. Well, maybe he was a loser, or maybe he simply repented and decided that the kind of campaigns that have been carried on by the Assyrians were not the kinds of things that they should be involved in. This is pure speculation. I want to say that right up front. We don't have anything from this king, Shalmaneser IV, that says this weird guy came to town and preached a sermon and we all repented in sackcloth and ashes. We don't have that. We don't have any indication that Jonah was ever there. We wouldn't expect to have it, you know. This wasn't a time when detached history was being reported in the way that we've become accustomed to since the Greeks. It's just nothing. But it is very interesting, and I think at least highly consistent with a view that would suggest that something dramatic happened in the history of the Assyrians to cause them to just deflate with respect to their warlike kind of tendencies. And so basically this guy is quiet. And I'm suggesting to you, it's been suggested by others, not my private opinion, that this at least, though it's an argument from silence, I grant that, nevertheless is at least consistent with the message that we have from the Old Testament that Jonah preached and the people repented, particularly, it's mentioned there, of their violence. So I'll let you make your own judgment about what you want to do with that. Anyway,